We're going to be doing some all levels moves today with some options to make it as hard as you want it to be. So let's go ahead and get yourselves set up and we'll begin. Alright guys, let's get started with some elephant variations. We're going to use a red and a blue spring, standing up tall, heavy in the heel of the foot, shoulders are down and back, pressing the carriage back as we inhale, and then exhale, we flex the spine and draw the carriage back home. Inhale, pressing the machine away from the foot bar, and then exhale, we pull it in. Just going to do a few here and get things moving. And then we're going to lift up to those tiptoes, transition to a flat spine. Back we go, same inhale breath, exhale to lift. This time as we pull it home, we're really lifting up with the tailbone. Inhale and then exhale, lift. Send it back, tailbone leads the way in. Now from here, right into a flamingo pose. So we're just keeping those thighs side by side. Inhale, we send the machine out, and then exhale, we pull it up and in. Let's maintain those arms steady like kickstands. Leg is up. Now we're just holding it like that small arabesque. Back attitude here a bit actually, so our knees a little bit wide. Out we go, and then exhale, lift. And then let's get some little lateral rotations here, just lifting the knee and lower, lift, lower. So we're just getting right into those hips immediately here. And then pulses 6, 7, and 8. And then we're going to go ahead and step the foot down right into the other side. So flamingo to kick it off. Out we go and lift and in. So the arms are steady like a kickstand, shoulders off the ears. Pressing the machine out, and then exhale, lift. And lift. So every time we're pulling up with the waist to draw the leg in. Now we lift that leg up just high enough that you can feel the active glutes and hamstrings to maintain the height of the bent knee. Lift and lift. Now let's go up and down with that leg. We're doing that lateral rotation, up and up and up. 6, and let's take it all the way down. All right, so now we're gonna step one foot forward, the other in the back. So legs remain straight, and then let's just weight shift backward and forward. So as you'll transition the body weight in the front and in the back, you'll notice a change in the stretch quite drastically over the legs. So we'll just do that a bit forward and back, and then let's change feet. Keeping the knees as straight as possible, not locked, but straight. We want our pelvis square to the foot bar as well, if possible. Backward and forward, and just whatever rhythmic breath suits you here. We're going to keep the neck area tension free, of course, and then just really promote that length through our legs. Let's go into that lunge stretch. So one foot on the bar, and we're simply pressing our body weight forward here. If you like, you can lift up one hand onto the thigh, only if that is what feels nice. So first thing in our workout might be a little tight, so be patient with yourself. We're going to switch feet. One foot on the bar, one knee down, and we're simply lunging our body weight forward. And then just breathe. Just allow that stretch to happen. All right, now let's go ahead and just leave the blue spring on all by itself, and we're going to be in that modified long stretch. So we want to be just on the top of the thighs there, right in front of the knees, and a long straight line from our shoulders to our thighs as we draw out and in. We are very conscious of that space between the shoulders and the ears, so we're tension free there. Really using the abs, of course, the lats and the triceps here. Pulling in on that exhale breath. Out we go. Inhale, exhale, we draw it back. Out we go, and then we pull it home. As you pull in, make sure you're using the outside of the arm there. Try to keep my weight on the outer edge of my hand and wrist. All right, that one feels great. And then let's take a little cat stretch here, a little shell stretch before we come down. All right, so we're gonna sit facing the side. Let's leave the blue spring on for some hip abduction. Seated next to the shoulder blocks, spine tall, we're gonna take our leg all the way towards the foot bar. We are trying to keep that foot in that dorsiflexion, vertical. Knee and toe point directly up as we press out. So this one is so great for your knee and your hip and your lower back. All the way out and then all the way in. Trying to keep the rest of your body still and strong. Exhale, press. And then just going to hold posture perfect here. Maybe you can do a little pulses. 5, 6, 7, and 8, and then bring it all the way in. All right, so we're going to change feet. Grab a grippy pad if you've got one nearby, and we're going to just put that on the opposite end closest to the foot bar, on the back side, of course. Okay, and then we're going to take this foot closest to the pulley, and let's hook it into the strap. Here we go. Tall posture, we're going to pull it in. Now I'm using my hand just for leverage so that I don't slide, but no death grip there. You want to keep the abdominals working and lots of inner thighs. Now I am intentionally crossing the midline here. You want to pull that leg all the way to the ankle of the free leg. Pull it in. Every time it takes you across the center, which is by design, and then you hold it. Find a happy place here, and then we can let it go. All right, we are going to do that on the other side, of course, starting with our buns up close to the shoulder blocks. And we're going to put the strap around the foot closest to our foot bar. Upright posture is, of course, super important. So nice tall back. And here we go, taking the leg out towards the foot bar. Common mistake I see is when people point the toe in the direction it's moving. That really just works the quads and hip flexors. Let's keep a strong dorsiflexion, toe straight up to the ceiling as we open the leg towards the bar. Send it out and back in. Yep, your foot. Let's do little pulses here. The leg can just glide right on the foot bar, or on the carriage. You don't have to lift it. And then we bring it in. All right, now we're going to switch and do the adductors on the inner thighs. So scooching your buns closer towards the other side there. And then the leg close to the pulley is going to pull in. Now again, we're going across that midline all the way to the ankle. Pull. And exhale, pull. Belly pulls in, spine sits tall, and we're just really isolating the adductor of the moving leg. Exhale, pull it in. And then maybe we hold at the finish there. And then carefully let it go. All right, perfect. So from here, we're going to go ahead and adjust the springs. So we now have a blue and a white spring. We're going to come up to our knees. Now, we're going to keep the feet hooked on the back edge of the carriage here. Choke up on the ropes. And we're going to just pull straight back. It's a slow, intentional pull. With the feet hooked on the back edge, we get some hamstrings and erector work of the spine in the back. So let's keep our posture very tall. We're pulling straight back with the arms. So now we're going to do it in tempo change. 1, 2, and 3. Let it slow return on 1. Pull 3, 2, 1, and release. That 3 pace tempo change really makes a huge difference to the degree of difficulty of this exercise. If it's too much, just make it smooth and steady with 1 pull. Otherwise, for the athletic challenge, we're going to crank it out in 3 and 2 and 1, and then 1 to release. All right, now we're going to make alligators here. One arm goes up and the other pulls back. The arm that is up is the working arm. Do your best to use that arm all by itself to lift, with the tricep arm thinking about it being your helper arm only. And we switch, trying for 8 here. Keeping those feet hooked, keeping our posture tall and our balance on. We are lifting and lowering there, concentrating on just the arm. You'll notice if the right and the left are uneven in strength immediately here. Okay, so now let's go ahead and hang them up, and we're going to turn around. We're going to drop a spring here. So we're down to just the blue. Bring our hands to the frame of the machine, knees against the shoulder blocks, and we're pulling forward, keeping the arms and back both straight. I tell people it's as if you want to put your head through the wall in front of you. So just keep pulling down. You should feel the armpits get that hollow feel as you pull the body forward. Let's try a couple more here. And 8. All right. So from here, give your back a little recovery flexion. All right, now we're back into the flat back. We're going to pull forward just enough to keep it active. Take one leg behind hip height. Now we're going to move that leg. Lateral center, lateral center. 3 and 4, all while keeping the tension on the reformer. 6, 7, and final. All right, switch it up other side. Give your hands a little wipe down if they get sweaty or slippery. Okay, we come forward an inch or so just to pull the springs into action. Other leg, hip height. Side, center. Side, center. 3 and 4, shoulders down. 5, 6, 7, and final. There we go. And bring it all the way back. All right, that one is no joke. Let's grab those ropes one more time. We're going to choke up on them pretty good. All right, now this is lighter. Remember, we've got just the blue. So we're going to do a single arm tricep. Both elbows bend, and we're just driving one at a time to straight back. Bending and pressing. Bending and pressing. Now, if you want to scooch back a little bit here, you'll make that a bit more exciting and more challenging, where we add in some of the lower body into this balance movement. And press. I always try to get as many muscles firing at once as I can. So this will do it by hooking the toes on the back edge. Reach. And bend. And reach. And push. Good. We want to have an even number on the right and the left, of course. Trying for anywhere between 6 and 12 per arm. And then we take a little break. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and we're going to move the foot bar all the way down. And we're going to get out the long box. So go ahead and place it on the ground with the short edge level with the gear bar, hands and knees to start. Let's push one foot straight back so we have our way to plank here, the kneeling knee right on top. Now, we can stay or you can pike. We're going to lift the hips and then drop to plank. Lift and drop. If you want this to be a more difficult exercise, you can walk your hands backward on the box so they're closer to the foot. That would require more inversion with every pike. All right, take a quick rest in between before we change sides. The first foot that's down, we're going to now place it on its instep, so it's sideways. Second leg joins exactly the same orientation. It's going to slide under and forward. And then both knees bend. We want to be on the edge of the feet. Try not to let the lower leg rest on the carriage. Pull it in. We want to stay nice and low. 5 and 6, 7, final time here, and bring it in. Okay, we've got to do the other side, of course. That one is not easy, so take your time. We're going to place it long box, of course, right up next to the gear bar. We have our hands on the front edge of the box, closest leg against the shoulder block, driving back, looking like a plank to begin here. Now you can stay in the plank. I often have students just stay in the plank. Otherwise, add your pike. We want to be aware, of course, of the shoulders, making sure that we do not elevate the shoulders or shrug. Every time you bring in that carriage in, just to gently tap onto the stopper, bringing it all the way home. And then we're going to make the transition to the oblique version, where we're going to lay the instep down onto the box. I'm sorry, not onto the box, onto the shoulder block, hands on the box. And now the second foot goes right under the first, pointed in the same direction. And we're just staying low. Low is the name of the game here. Those legs are just barely hovering off the carriage as we bend and press, bend and press. Trying for 8 here, 8 to 10. And then we carefully come all the way down. Okay, good. So hopefully you enjoyed that one as well. That one's always a nice little challenge to throw in there if you're looking for a little something fun. All right, so we're getting rid of the box here. All right, so we are back on our machine. We're gonna add the red spring, just one red, and let's use one of the straps here. So we're onto our backs. All right, send the arms up. So we're setting up like regular mid-back series, knees tabletop, and we're just going single arms, alternating, of course. I love unilateral work as it just really promotes a lot of realignment in the body and equalizing strength. You'll notice very quickly if one side is stronger than the other. So doing your best to notice and then, of course, make those the same over time. Take it into a tricep press. I like to have the elbows floating, that way I get full extension of the elbows. We press and bend, and press and bend. Now out to the side. This one I always find is the hardest. This is the largest struggle on the obliques. You try to keep your body right in the center of the carriage here, pulling one into hip and wide and the other to the hip and wide. Pinky edge of the hand is pulling all the way into the side body and pull. All right, so from here, let's go ahead and we're gonna just do one strap. So let's put one down, and then we have left arm up, right hand slips on top, knees table, and we are gonna crunch up toward the hip, pressing down with the arms straight, up and across. The arm in the strap, in this case the left, is really straight and strong, and then you're creating flexion and rotation all in one as we press toward the left hip. We're gonna get 8 of these, and then let's single leg stretch it out here. 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. All right, and then pull it all the way back in. Okay, great. Now we're gonna do that on the other side. So holding on to the opposite strap, right hand is in there first, straight over the shoulder, tabletop legs, and then the left hand slips on the right. Here we go. Up and across. Flex it over, press. And up. Yep. So you want to add that flexion. Make sure both shoulder blades are lifting up off of the carriage as you press toward the right hip. Up and across. Up and across. And then we go into those single leg stretch legs. You can do both legs at the same time. You can do one at a time. You can do scissors, really whatever works for you. It is all lovely and effective. Okay, let's go with one foot in the strap. So we've got one leg in there. We're gonna do a little stretch. I love to take it out wide, of course, while my hand is holding it so it doesn't drop too low. And then of course across the body is the most delicious, so don't forget that one. All right, then our free leg is going to be in table. Up and down with that straight leg in strap, please. Inhale up, exhale down. So something like this is when we start thinking about what's not moving in our body. You want to relax the muscles of the face, the throat, and the shoulders. We're going to engage the abdominals, of course, tighten up the core, and then just allow the leg to move. All right, so we're going to do several of them in parallel, and then we go up and down in that lateral rotation as well. Same up and down stripe, but with a rotation from the hip joint. We want to be working all those muscles in the hamstrings here, so let's make sure we move through some of those different positions. All right, and circling up, around to side, and press it in. Easier said than done here. Only make your circle as wide as it doesn't pull your torso off center. We don't want any lateral flexion at the waist. Your obliques are holding you anchored there. We're just lifting and then around with the leg. Now let's take a scissor-like movement with the gesture leg without the strap, of course, working considerably more than the leg in the strap. And just find a rhythmic breath here. Always scissor the legs. 7 and 8. And then we're going to just put the free foot down, down, down. Now I just try to find a way through the springs so I can really open up that hip flexor. You may want to just rest it on the platform, whatever feels right. And then we'll do that with the other side. So now we're going to put our left foot in the strap. Enjoy the stretch first. I like to hold on to the rope and allow the leg to open to the side first. I try to never skip feet in straps because it just feels so lovely, not only on the leg, but also, of course, in the lower back. All right, here we begin. Tabletop the free leg. We're going to go up and down with the leg in the strap here. Inhale up and exhale down. Find a rhythmic, fluid breath as the leg floats up, and then exhale as it presses forward. You want to be activating the glutes as you push. And we start in parallel, but of course we want to be in a lateral rotation also. Get all those hamstring muscles stretching. The rest of the body is tension free. Last one here. And then we're going to take it into some circles and around. Lift and out and around. Let's try to keep the pelvis as steady as you can. We're going up, out, and around with the leg. Up, out, and around. Keep the body as stationary as you can. And then we're going to go into some scissors. Lifting and lowering, alternating the legs. Feel all that core work. Lift and lower. Good. And then we can take the foot, maybe thread it in through the springs and put it down a little bit lower to work out those hip flexors. They are always tight on everybody. All right, so from here, we're gonna sit up. Now I am 5'4"-ish, so I like to put my feet on the platform below, give you a little more height. Send the waist back and then lift. So the challenge here is in keeping your feet connected to the floor as you roll back for some seated crunches, leading with the low back, and then we crunch forward. So the toes must stay on, the heels can lift. Let's add some rotations here. Twisty, twisty. We are in that scoop. And then find center, and then all the way back up. Now hands behind the head, flat back to wrap it up. We hinge back and forward. As you hinge back, try not to go any further back than you start to shake. The shaking muscles are a different muscle group here. We want to get deep into the pelvic floor muscles, so stay out of that shake zone. And then just lean forward, round your back all the way up, and we are finished. Thank you for joining me for today's full body reformer class. If you liked it, leave us a comment and let us know. And don't forget to subscribe. Have a great day, guys. We'll see you next time.